Good morning. My name is Ann Apfel, the author of Shift Your Consciousness, Meditate Now, Anima Meditations. Anima Meditations are to help you reach enlightenment. To reach enlightenment, we have to begin to deprogram our space. That's a big word, deprogramming. How did we become programmed? What are the programs? We did a talk at the University of Buffalo called Deprogramming the Colonized Mind. So perhaps the programming that we're suffering from here came in with the thought of manifest destiny and control, taking, believing. Those are all some of the big words that you will find in your energy space when you're looking at programming. And why I say looking is because we're looking at the energy. And as we learn to look at the energy, we see that it flows on a timeline. And when we are taught the energy doesn't flow anymore, we are given, the places to look at and the lessons. Here, 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 here. So as we look, we can receive the energy from a higher understanding, a higher plane, or our higher self, what we need. You can do that in the lesson too. It's just easier to be controlled when it's given to you, because those that are controlling the program can use giving the lesson as a way to control you through your emotions or through your power. So we've learned to ground, and we've learned to separate our space, and we've learned to cleanse our chakras. All these are ways of moving energy so that we begin to understand that control and how it comes in and how it affects our bodies and how it moves us inside these programmed awarenesses that are controlling everyone through power. So that's the game that we're in right now, is this third chakra power game. And we kind of want to be in that heart game where these decisions are made from love rather than from what am I going to get for somebody else, so that they can have an exorbitant life. Right now we're probably living better than any queen did in her lifetime. So we are really pushed through those emotions to have and to get, to have more. 1,000 years ago, did the queen have lip gloss? Probably not. So we have a lot of stuff, and we are using that stuff to control. I'm better than you. My lip gloss is shinier. And if you can believe that, you can tell yourself that and you believe that, then you can begin to control the energy with it. So we kind of learn through that example how we control the energy. You create this kind of pretension in the energy, and you put it on yourself and you believe it, and you hold that. So we hold energy here in our crown chakra, in our knowingness. And if we can get ourselves to believe something, like we're better than someone else, which was that whole manifest destiny thought, then we can begin to control that energy through that knowing, I am better. And that's how they got God, and they brought God through them in that better than. And then they began to control through that third chakra using God. So how do we deprogram that? How do we pull that program? And we pull that program through looking at everything. We begin to look at the energy of everything. And when we do that, it's a little different than being told what it is. So right now, we go out and learn. People teach me, and show me. what it is. And those that are programmed the most usually get the most energy to be the teacher. They're the role model. They have the most. I want, now I want, now I want, now I want. And everyone's kind of plugging into this person who has everything to figure out how to get it. But you can't get it because they've got it. And if they've got it, they're not giving it to you. Until they start to grow, and then they are giving it to you, and then you become part of that monster that's, sucking the energy. But nobody's looking, at the earth and the effect of that programmed monster on the air and the water, the land. So we have to begin to question. And a good question will begin to change the energy. It's what questions are we asking? Every question will bring about an answer. So if you can find a good question, how do I deprogram myself? I taught that one in the University of Buffalo, deprogramming the colonized mind. How do I deprogram myself? Well, you don't believe. You look, start to look. Stop believing everything you're told. To believe is to agree. And once you start to make agreements with the energy for power, then you become part of the game. And the game on this planet right now is power and money. Even the spiritual people are playing that power and money game. And, believe with me and get bigger and more powerful. Get more money. And, where we should be looking at the earth and how to have a better life with what we have. What are our resources that we can use, like the sun and the wind, and to, create instead of these messy energies that we learned. So as we began exploiting energy, even the energy workers said, oh yeah, we sell energy, right? And it became a program, and now they're programmed to sell energy, and they're not helping either. So it's really begins to reach a point of frustration because nobody's looking anymore. They're in their third chakra, in their power, trying to figure out how to get on top of this pile that never ends. Once you get to the top of the pile, your spirit is at the top of the pile, and you've got power. You've got money, but your spirit hasn't evolved because you didn't reach your heart or the way to create safely on the earth for everyone. So you only evolved into that emotion and power space, and your spirit is going to end up on these lower levels, still needing to be taught. Yikes. So go ahead and ground your body. We're going to use some of those tools that we learned, grounding, releasing. Ground through that first chakra at the base of your spine. Create that anima. Extend it from the base of your spine into the center of the planet. Open your first chakra and just begin to release all that energy. How much energy do we carry around, and what are our agreements? Once we can begin to look at our own agreements, which is what we do in this book, meditation upon meditation, to help you begin to look at your agreements with the energy and begin to release those emotional games that lead you into your third chakra to control your reality rather than moving up into the higher spaces where we can actually create this beautiful place for everyone. It's really within our power. We're just using our power to control rather than to create. And so they used to really revere women because they had that ability to use their power to create. They use that emotional power, they use that physical power, and they use that third chakra with the female energy. And the female energy was very, very creative. And women, were revered for that. But now that creative energy is going into the power, and they're controlling. They're learning to control men and learning to control, and it's all about getting, rather than creating that spirit and creating that beauty. So the female power is kind of getting wasted and turned into this monster type of energy that tries to control men, and then it becomes a big game where we all get lost. Now continue to ground and release. Notice the edge of your space. Draw your aura in so you could create your own space. Give yourself a little space from that programmed reality that we're looking at. And we pull our aura in and we place our protection enema at the edge of our aura and do that. As we do that, we give ourselves space that separates us from that program so that we can look at that and look at the program, and we look at energies. What are those energies? And we begin to ask questions. The program doesn't like when you question it because that starts to shake the whole world of belief. And the program is set up really strongly based on these beliefs and it's all resting nicely on that manifest destiny right now. It's not really letting that whole theory of one come in, where we're all related, we're all one, we're all connected in thought and energy. And that's what we want to bring in, where there's no more judgment of each other. That allows that program in to go right back down into the emotions, right back into the power, right back into control. I need, I want, I better. All those things that cause us to fight and create wars. So it's not pretty and it's not nice. And we devise all these ways to cover ourselves in the pretentious pretty. We have to put on makeup and fine clothes and dye our hair many different colors. To find pretty. But pretty when we find it inside. I did something beautiful today, planted a flower, And then the spirit starts to glow and the spirit starts to shine, and you just are beautiful because your energy is shining through. So as you ground out these negative beings that create these lies in your space, you actually do become a beautiful spirit. And that's where we should be putting our energy into becoming a beautiful spirit, rather than a monster that goes around the earth and consumes and takes as much as it can for power. Just notice your ability to ground and release, to separate yourself, to begin to connect to your higher self for those answers, to begin to open that sixth chakra. We did in the last meditation we did was opening that sixth chakra, and why we do that is so that we can look at energy. And once we can look at energy, we can come off the beliefs of the program. So just notice, you can get into your space, have your own awareness, and begin to look at energy for yourself. And that's how we begin to deprogram our body from the machine that is running it today. Fill yourself up with a gold enema of really beautiful energy. Gold energy, all the way down to the tips of your toes, down your grounding. As soon as you can replenish your space and be. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me this morning.